Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill. This is whatever it is. Maybe it's Beyond Code Live. Maybe it's just coding and hanging out. It is just coding and hanging out. We're working on the Dash project. So, three things before we get started. First of all, the thing that we're going to get started on is I'm going to be working on test fixtures. I think that's what I'm going to be working on anyway. If not, then we'll have to change the title or whatever, but that's okay. So I think I'm going to be working on test fixtures because we've run this enough times that we realize, hey, we're going to have to create a new board and a new repo and a new project board to be able to test these imports over time. And yeah, that's right. Hashtag ETL. Wait, how did you get that to be in blue? Hey, what's up, Johannes? What's up, For God? Nice to see y'all here. Welcome back. So that's what we're working on. Number two, of course, is that we need to have a brief word from our sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew. So everybody, pop a top, my friends. It's time to open focus. I think we've got to be up to at least 8 streams without incident where I don't spill on myself now. So that's good. And number 3, I'm looking for a maybe more than one position, but I'm looking to hire some people to do time codes for certain videos, not necessarily all of them, but probably a native English speaker or at least somebody that can watch it 2x and has an interest in programming. That would be probably a completely different person than what I need for the other stuff. Need somebody to work on thumbnails for me. So we're going to have different series of videos. For example, this ETL project, and I want a thumbnail that matches this series. And I'm going to want another thumbnail that matches the off series and so forth. And then somebody to do some light editing. So when we have the meetups or when I do the educational content, I want to get that shrunk down and edited. So that could be one person. It could be 3 people. But I am hiring for the channel. So party hat or whatever. See if somebody was editing that, they might have put in the little party hat emoji in there. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But so if you know somebody that might be interested, particularly if there's somebody who's also interested in learning programming, I think that'd be the perfect fit. Then please let me know because that's what's going on. Now, with all that said, For God, I want to hear your questions and your thoughts in particular because this is the area where you've got the most interest potentially. And so, but do you kind of get the idea here that it would be awesome if we knew exactly what the migration needed to be and we got it right on the first try, but we didn't. We didn't know what it needed to be. We didn't get it right on the first try. We've made updates, bugs have been introduced, and so now we need test fixtures so that we can more easily go through this. So there's really 2 things that I need to do as part of this to feel better about it. One is that I need to do the fun work of going and figuring out the GrahpQL and REST APIs for GitHub to be able to create the repo, the project, and then columns and stuff like that. So let me open up the columns real quick. Let's see if we can, let's get out there. I don't think I need that open or that open right now. Okay, so we need our own special columns. So we need to create those. But then I also need to go through and pluck some data that's a good example of the type of data that we're dealing with so that we can see just in a really short run where we upload maybe 100 items rather than 1,000 items. What does a short run look like? So I need to pick a couple of cards that are just great ideal cards. And I think that one of those great ideal cards is going to be the card that represents what we're doing here on the stream, this project. So yeah. All right. Now with that out of the way, we get to the code. So I got my code right here. Let me bring that up. And I don't know, do I want to make this shorter or wider? This should, I have a sense that maybe that's a few pixels off. Let me check over there. It's a pixel off or 2. Let me see that. Oh, now it's too much space on the other side. No, it's fine. We're gonna deal with it. Come on, get in there. See, it's a couple pixels off. It doesn't want to let me put it right up. There we go. Right up to the boundary. Now let me do it. There we go. Perfect. Pixel perfect. Okay. So I'm actually going to check on this card and see what I put on here before because I'm not, let's see, transfer comments. There may not even be a task for what I want to do right now. So I might just have to work that out later. But let me read through this real quick. Various minor fixes. Yeah. Task level issues. Yep. Duplicate card level issues. Yeah, that's probably because we've been using the same. We have duplicated things. One does not have an owner. The other has an owner. Okay. Yeah. Goal platform. Yeah, this is just because we've used the same board to do multiple uploads to, and so there's mismatch and duplicate data. All right, set status from checklist type, transform comments. Okay, I'm just going to go rogue here and hope retroactively that it's work I can get paid for. Or you know what I'll do? I'll just put my own checkboxes in here. It'll work out perfectly. But yeah, because we've had a verbal agreement that there's some other stuff that needs to get done, and that's what I want to work on first. Let's see, deal with occasional 500. That I haven't encountered again, so I don't know if I really want to do that. Don't warn when completed. Checklist items don't have an issue. That's a really quick one. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to go look at, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff here. Get rid of all this. Wait, actually, that one might be exactly what I need to look at. So let me go open that again. By the way, feel free to, as always, you can ask comments. We can have a little bit of chit chat. How close are you to finishing this project in your opinion? So I would say that this project it's really close to being done in one sense, but it's not in another. So most of the work is done. Okay. Most of the API calls are done. Most of the transforms are done. The problem is that we don't have a perfect agreement as to what we want the data to look like. So in the ideal case, somebody comes to you with a project and they say, okay, this is what the data looks like, and this is what I want the data to look like. Get me from A to B. In this case, it was more, this is what the data looks like. And then the realistic, I think we want the data to look like this, but I'm not sure. Let's get there and then find out. And so the fine-tuning bits of this project are going to take some time. And since the fine-tuning bits are going to take some time, even though it seems like, well, we're kind of at the end of this project, I'm going to invest the time to make the test fixtures. Do you use a clipboard history? In Vim, I have buffers, but I do not have a clipboard history tool on macOS. If you know of one that I should be using, please let me know. I would appreciate that. I would use it. Okay. So what do we need to do? I'm gonna update my issue here. I'm just gonna add some stuff on this one. So needs tasks. I'm just gonna put this here. One is create repo via API. I put this somewhere. Create project beta board via API. Create project columns via API, and then gather columns by name, not ID. So that's what we want to do here. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the simplest one, create a repo via the API. I think this is going to be super simple. Let's find out. If not, if it's complex, it's not going to be worth doing. But if it's simple, it's going to be worth doing. So I'm going on the basis that this is probably very simple to do. So projects, repositories. Here we go. Repositories. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I think this is all right though. So I want to create an organization repository. That's exactly what I want to do. Post org repos. Do we have an example of what this looks like? I can just copy and paste. Yeah, we do. Meh. It's okay. So this is going to be really easy to go into our libgh and just add a new, what do you have, like an issues? Let's just do repos here. And again, some of you are going to say, rightfully so, but AJ, you're just recreating an SDK for GitHub. GitHub already has an SDK. Yeah, but here's the thing. I've got to go look at the documentation anyway, right? So if I have to go look at the documentation anyway, and I have to figure it all out anyway, I might as well just create the smallest version of the thing that I need, because I still have to go there and I still have to go look it up and I still have to play with it. So it's not as much as you actually think it is in terms of the overhead. So for me, I like staying closer to the metal. I would not argue with anybody else against using the stuff that GitHub already has because it's there. But for me, I just like being closer to the metal, and I can think about things more clearly and understand exactly what variables and stuff are going on when I'm doing it myself. So again, you do what you want to do. You do what feels right for you. I'll do what feels right for me. Get out of my face. See how easy that was? Good. All right. So this is going to be what? This is orgs repos. All right. Fair. That makes sense, though. That does make sense. So org. So we're going to say what? We're going to pass in an org. I forgot how I did it with the issues. Create issue number. All right. I'm going to call it create for org. Or maybe this should be orgs create repo. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to call it create. And we're going to put in owner. Owner is going to be one of the things. Maybe we'll just call it repo, and then owner is going to be one of the things. Repo.owner. And then what else do I need to put in here? Maybe I should just extract that out because that kind of seems like it's its own thing. I guess. Whatever. I'm not gonna think too much into this. This isn't that big of a deal. This isn't really the core value of the project here. Node or JavaScript are one and the same. So I am writing JavaScript. That's the language that I'm writing. The platform is Node, which means the tools that are available to me are the Node tools. Let's see. I discovered Mackie yesterday, and I find it pretty useful, even though I'm not used to it because I haven't used one for years. Yeah, I only had a clipboard history on Windows for the 3 days that I used Windows back about half a decade ago. And I thought that was cool. I actually really liked that you could do Windows C and Windows V to get clipboard history. The thing I'm afraid of, though, is what about if I have my secret keys in my keyboard history? Is there a way to say, don't show this item? Or, that's the thing I'd be worried about, especially with streaming. But I'll check this out. I can't tell the difference between Node and JavaScript. Yes, because syntactically, JavaScript is the language. Node is the platform. I don't know if that makes sense. If somebody's doing script tags, they're doing JavaScript in the browser. If somebody's doing require, they're doing JavaScript in Node. And of course, there's some exception to that because there's a lot of people that do require in Node. So we at least need the name, and we might need some other properties. So let me see here. So we're going to go with, maybe we will do this way. Maybe we will do it just like this. Maybe we'll do owner and name. And so here we'll have name. And then what else do we want to put in this? Yeah, we can have that accept header, but that's already taken care of as part of the main framework. Bits. And I think there's something that we want to do. Name, description. Do we need a description? Yeah, sure. We'll have a description. Why not? We'll have a description. Homepage. No, we don't need that. Private. What? Visibility. What? Public or private? What? GitHub Enterprise? Because these seem to be the same thing. Public or private versus private. That's the same thing. Whatever. Has issues. Yeah, we definitely want it to have issues. True to has projects. Maybe we do want to create a project at that level. I don't think that we do right now. Team ID, auto, init. Yeah, I think we do. Oh, we want to use a template. Can we use a template? That's what we ought to do. We ought to create a repository from a template, just so it has some basic data in it. Let's see what we have about template repos. Auto init. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this for the umpteenth time. We're just going to do this owner and repo, and this is just going to be repo. And then I'm just going to say C here for options. But it would be great if we could have this created from a template, I think. There was some reason that I wanted to do that. I don't remember what it is right now. Okay, wait. And did we need to do patch on this one? What was this? Was this patch or put or post? This is post. Okay, so there we go. Post. Which we don't really need, or do we need that? I don't know if we actually even need to put post. Because that's the default, I think. If there's no method, but the method has a body, then the method is post, right? Isn't that what I said? Yeah, that is the way that it is. So we don't explicitly need to put post. Maybe we will because it's nice to put it there. All right. Okay, great. That was that. All of that ceremony for basically nothing. All right, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in our utils, and we're going to do an init. And this is what we're going to do. We're actually going to list the repos as well. Let's go list repos. Let's go back to repos. Let's go get the list of them. So get a repository. List repositories, get a repository. Let's go get a repository. Repos owner repo. All right. So we're going to do the same thing that we did here. And we're just going to do get. And it's going to be almost all the same, except the URL is going to be completely different. So the URL is going to be name here. And this is going to be repo.name. And this is going to be owner. So this way they kind of feel the same. And then we are not going to need any body for it. So all we're going to do is we're going to check to see if that thing's there. And if it's not there, we're going to create it. So I'm just going to copy this over. So here's our init. So we're going to do a get or create type of thing. So I'm going to do async function main. Doot. Oh, that should be main. Let's call it main. And main, and then dot catch. Again, I need to create a macro for this. I don't know why I don't, but I really need to because it makes a lot of sense to create a macro for this because I just do the same thing over and over again. Maybe I should I'm just going to call it, I'm going to put it in my buffer for now as main. Let me go see what I've got in other utils here. Get member info. What I have, no, not that one. Let's see if I've got another one here. Board, quick view. Was there something else? Okay, I don't have it. That's fine, whatever. But just remind me, my M buffer is main, and it's got this stuff in here. I should make it my J buffer and just put a whole template JavaScript file in here. All right, anyway. So we're going to await, we're going to read in, here's what we're going to do. We're going to require .env.config, and then we're going to have, path.env, .env.secret. So that's going to come in. And then we're going to have let gh equals, I'll just call it like this, require lib gh.js. I think that's appropriate. And then we're just going to say create, and we're going to do process.env.github owner, I think is what it's going to be. Let's go ahead and take a look in there. I don't have any secrets in this file. Secrets are in the secret file. So this is all information that's okay. So we have GitHub org, GitHub repo, GitHub project. So I'm going to have to learn how to do the GitHub project thing, and that's going to be fine. So GitHub, yeah, it really should be owner, not org. So we're just going to go with the org now, and I can rename it all later. All right, checking comments here. Yeah, pretty dangerous for streams. Yeah, I probably won't use it then, because I try to optimize towards not shooting myself in the foot. And so sometimes that means I don't use tools that I could use. But really that's never meant that. I just find a way to work around it. So for example, with .env, I just have a .env.secret. I don't put my secrets in my .env. And that works for me. All right. So we've got process.getenv.org. You know what? I think I already put that in here. Let me go check on that. Org, owner, right. Okay, so you know what? I actually definitely don't need to have owner in here. I just totally forgot that it was already there. So we don't need to do that. That's already available. Okay, so good work. So that doesn't need to be there. But the repo, so we can get rid of this entirely. But the repo, we do need to have that name. So we're going to go grab the repo. And so name is process.env.github repo. Oh gosh, this is such a smart idea. I should have done this ages ago. All right, so my one concern is that we actually want to allow failure in this particular case. So I'm going to go check in here and see, do I have my, typically I call it must okay. Let's see, yeah, if not okay. And let's see, ref.status. What do I need to do for this one? Because I actually don't want it to print out all of this stuff. So I want to have, I don't know exactly how to go about feeding this in. URL body. I kind of want to say it's part of the body. So how about this? How about we do this? Let body dot underscore allow status. We'll do let say we'll do like this. And then we'll make sure that it doesn't fit there. So we could do it, maybe we could do it this way? I don't know. I think I need to just add another parameter for options. This is getting nasty now. Okay, status code. So and okay status is equal to ref.status code. So what I'm doing is I'm making a way so that if there's a 400 error, that it's okay, I can handle it. I'm just not doing it in a way that I'm very proud of. Because now, when I do git, I hadn't thought about this when I was first doing it. So we're going to do ops, and then we're going to pass along here. We don't need a body, and we don't need a method, but we do want to pass the ops. So that's a little bit awkward as far as the aesthetics of it go. But this is the way that I'm choosing to do it to get it done. And I don't think that's necessarily wrong. It's just a little bit awkward because I need, for this particular method, the way that I'm going to use it, I need to be able to set OK status is 404. So if we get back a 404, I still want to know because I want to figure out, is it a 404 or is it not a 404? Now, I may have gotten ahead of myself because we may not even know. Sorry, I haven't been checking the comments very much. I'll try to do a little bit better about that. But the thing that I don't even know if we actually get an error or if we just get back if we get a 200 OK that just says, hey, this doesn't exist, and that's a perfectly okay state of the world. But I'm going to go like this, and we're just going to try it out real quick. And this should return true. Yeah. Okay, so this is all that repo information, and it's a ton of information. That's totally cool. The one weird thing about it that I wasn't expecting is, let's see, where's JSON? JSON here. Because that's not returning true like I thought it would. All right, so we did create, update. We haven't been doing any gets, that's why. Everything so far has just been... Here, let's do it like that. That's probably okay. That's not going to bite me in the butt, is it? Okay, cool. So now it's parsing as JSON as it should. All right, so now let's change this. Let's change our repository to be, what's today's date? The 29th? So now we should get back a 404. All right, message not found. Not okay. Why do we get an error not okay? That's what I want to know. Because I don't want to get an error not okay on this. I want to get back, let's see, not okay. Status code. But it didn't show me a status code. What? Did I get that wrong? I might have gotten that wrong. Let me go check this. It might be just code or just status. Let me try this again. Because there's so many different ways of doing this between the different platforms, whether it's status or whether it's code or whether it's status code, that I forget. So let's just try it all three real quick and we'll hopefully figure out which one it is. Okay. I see a message not found. And I see a not okay. And I don't see anything about a status code. Okay, not okay. Status. Oh, because it's got the body there. Okay, that's why. All right, 404. It is status code. All right. So, okay. So we've got a status code there. That's fine. And I will check the comments in just a second. Sorry, I'm just trying to hunker down and get this done. So, okay, status. Oh, that's me. There we go. I had a equals where I should have had a not. All right. Is there any use for const or var declarations? I mainly see you use let. Okay, so I'm a hypocrite. Let me go ahead and you may not have seen this, but this is on the Beyond Code Bootcamp channel, which you should also be subscribed to if you want to. Beyond Code Bootcamp. I'm just going to take you to this channel, and I've got a video specifically on that. So if you want to go check it out, go check it out. There you go, for God. Const let var. Now this is my spiel on it. Okay, this is an intermediate video, not a beginner video. So if you want the beginner video, maybe check out Traversy Media or someone like that. But this is my spiel, and I am only using let so much because I would just use var, but I don't know. It's just so many people are using let that I'm kind of just slipping into it because there's not really that much difference between let and var. I always use var. If something is global, I will use var because reasons. But if something is inside of a function or block scope, I'll typically use let nowadays. And const I only use when there's actually a constant. Other people use const all over the place, but I think this is dumb because just the idea of, you know, I don't say, hey, here's a baked potato when what I've actually given you is an egg. Well, but sometimes people make deviled eggs and they serve them with potatoes. Okay, that doesn't make an egg a potato. What? And that's kind of how I feel about const. Constant has a name, which you'll see in that video. And I personally can't bring myself to pretend in that way. It just doesn't make sense to me. If whatever it is not a constant. And so I just don't feel it appropriate to call something a constant unless it's a constant. But if something's a constant, then I will use const. Just rarely are things constant. And in a dynamic language like JavaScript, the whole idea of a constant just doesn't make sense in the first place. But if you are going to have a constant, there need to be certain rules that it obey. So basically, if you're not willing to do an object.freeze, then you definitely should not call it a constant. Although the very fact that you can do an object.freeze means that it's not a constant. But I would maybe give a little bit of wiggle room in that. I don't talk about that in that video. Okay, so here... You know what I should do? No, this is what I should do. Sorry. I'm sorry. wasted time here thinking about this the wrong way. This is what I should do here. So if error.response.status code we should just return null here. That's what we should do. Otherwise, we should rethrow the error. That's the way that this should be. I don't need to do all this weird stuff that I started to do. This just makes it more complicated. It's not the right way to go about it. The way that I had it in the first place was the correct way to do it. I don't need to complicate my code or make it do something that it really just doesn't need to do. So to clarify that, I'm taking away the ops. I'm going to let it throw the error. The reason I didn't want to let it throw the error was because I have all of this stuff that I'm printing out here. But you know what I need to do then? I just need to do this. I just need to say, you know what? It is okay. Whoops. For us to have the status code here. Let the error. Yeah, and then we're just going to put this on here. Just error dot response equals resp dot to JSON. Do we already do the to JSON on here? No, we haven't. Okay, that's it. That's it. We don't need anything. We don't need anything else other than that. If I need to figure out what it is in some place, then I will look at error.response and do the appropriate thing. This is the right way to handle this. Feel good about it moving forward. Okay, great. Nothing broke. Excellent. All right, so then, whoops, let me go back to utils, go back to init. So this right here is, I'm just going to call this function, we're going to have a get or create. And I'm going to put this into my, well, I'm going to flesh it out here first. All right, so if not repo. So what if I run this again? Oh, wait, no, that shouldn't happen. Sorry. Dot catch error. Return null. So this should return null. So that should be null. So why is it not null? Console.error. Error thing. I'm a little bit confused. Let me go back to here. This should be throwing an error. If not okay. Oh, I didn't throw the error. That's why. Okay, cool. There we go. So let's run this again. Good. Getting null. Whoops. Keep on going into the wrong file. Ah, fat fingers today. All right, so if there's not a repo, then I'm going to do await repo create, and then we're going to just pass in name, and then we're going to give it the name of our repo here. So now we have our get or create function, which hopefully is exactly what we want it to be. Let's see. Cool. That looks like that worked swimmingly. So I'm going to call that a major win. I'm going to rename this function to get or create, and I'm going to move it to my SDK. All right, so here we go. I'm just deleting it from here. And then I'm going to move it over to here, right with repos.get. So we're going to have gh.repos.get or create. And then I'm going to paste it there. And then we're going to put in our repo information here. And I'm going to do repo for this one. Well, I guess I'm just going to do name, repo.name. And then for this one down here, we're going to make that repo because it could have extra stuff in it. So this makes sense. And then we're going to return repo here. And voila, That is our get or create function now. Okay, so I'm going to call this new repo. No, I'm going to call this details. If not details, details, details. There we are. That's great. Okay. So I had to think around the problem a little bit. Maybe took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but we got this done now. So now we have repos.get or create, and we can pass in some information right there. And then we're guaranteed to always get back the repo details. So this is good. So if it doesn't exist, it'll create it, and I'll get repo details. Sweet. Cool. Let me go check comments now. Sorry for not answering comments. Again, feel free to ask me questions. I'm totally fine to have a little bit of extra discussion. For those of you joining in, hi, my name's AJ. If you do find at any point that this is entertaining or useful or helps you fall asleep on the other side of the globe or this side of the globe, although I don't know why you'd want to fall asleep at 3 p.m. on this side of the globe, because that's the perfect time to be waking up. In any case, give it a thumbs up, consider a sub. And I do have, I'm going to link to the Discord real quick. I do have a content request channel. So if there's something that you would like to see, if there's something you want to learn, throw it in the content request channel and I will get to it as I can. I do at least one a week. So here we go. Discord right there. Yeah, 11 p.m. It's helping you fall asleep. I like to watch Ancient Aliens to fall asleep. Does anybody else watch Ancient Aliens? It's an excellent show. Depending on your definition of excellent. Okay. I'm really about to commit to the whole month of February to learn this stuff. Cool. Just completed my first ETL project in Python involving the Spotify API last week. Awesome. That's cool. Do I prefer 12-hour or 24-hour clocks? That is a really good question. Because I live in the United States, I am most familiar with the 12-hour clock, although I believe that the 24-hour clock is more rational. So I'm going to be a hypocrite and say that I prefer the 24-hour clock and I'd never use it. Because it's just the way I've grown up, Okay. Oh, I actually did want to leave that as a log. All right. So now we need a github.projects.getOrCreate. So let's go take a look at this. Do we have projects, GitHub projects, get node ID? Blah. Okay. Okay, so let's do projects. Oh, this is going to suck. Blah. All right. GitHub, GrahpQL. I'm going to take my glasses off. I don't know why I still have them on. Usually I take my glasses out when I start streaming, because glasses out. Contacts out, but I don't wear contacts. Glasses come off. But anyway, yeah, the thing is I can see the screen just fine. It's actually kind of annoying to have a little bit of glass distorting the screen from this distance. Now, when we get to the very far corner of that screen, if I let my eyes adjust, okay, now I can see it just fine. I think I can see that slightly better with glasses. That's more than 2 feet away. That tells you how many screens I have going on here. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to go to the GrahpQL, and I'm going to go to Overview. I'm going to go to References. I'm going to go to, Flippy-doo. I just hate this so much. I hate GrahpQL so much. It's so obtusely, obnoxiously complicated without reason. Give someone an inheritance system and everything starts to look like a hammer. There's never, ever a simple example for here's how to do something with GrahpQL, because GrahpQL is not simple. So you cannot have a simple example. All right, so we want to add to a project. I want to create the project. That's what I want to do. I want to create the project. And I don't have the first clue as to how to go. Blah, 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 blah. And now I need to redo this one. Okay, I guess I don't have to do that. All right, so I want to create a project. And I have to do some weird nonsense that I do not like to do. If you can't agree with me that GrahpQL is literally the worst, get out of my house. Or convince me that it's not the worst, but I just don't see how that could possibly happen, considering how terrible it is. Oh, owner's right there, so I don't need to redo the owner stuff over here. I don't know why I was redoing the owner stuff here. Whoop, bless me. Sorry. I burp it. I made this burp for you. Because I love you. All right, so I don't want to do a project number. Let's see, there's a query. I think I want to mutation. So I guess I should copy this rather than the other thing. Okay, so we're going to copy this rather than the other thing. That didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. Project item. Okay. All right, so GrahpQL, we're going to make a new project. And I think this right here, add project next item, my guess is that this is a comment. We could call this anything. We could call it snarfblat if we wanted to. Create project. I could be wrong. Or maybe, hold on. No, it's called create project. No, this is actually a function name in GrahpQL. And this is the input. And the input is, of course, create project input. Because you know what we love to do? We love to have it where every single possible mutation that you could ever want, every permutation of it gets its own object. So we'll have a create project input and an update project input and a get project input and a, you know, and we're going to get client mutation ID. I don't even care about that. That's probably for debugging. And we're going to get the project. So create project input. Let's go take a look. Oh, good. I'm so glad that they don't have this in a nice, easy copy-paste format. That would be terrible. Thank heavens. Literally, thank our lucky stars that we don't get something in a simple copy-paste format. Why would anyone ever want that? That's just ridiculous. Okay, so if we were doing a rant here, let's see, this is at about 45 minutes in. I'm just going to take note for whoever ends up being the editor here. GrahpQL rant around 40 minutes or so, because I think it started about 5 minutes ago. So there we go. Let's make sure we grab that rant. I have my angry face pillow. If you haven't seen my angry face pillow, it's a good one. Got it at Walmart. Love it. Don't regret it at all. Okay. And then we need owner ID as a $ thing, right? Owner ID. And then I think we want to get back a project, and then I want to say what I want back from the project. I'm not really sure how that works. But we're going to pass in. Do we have to pass this in? Which way do we have to pass this in? So now it's going to be an owner ID, and it's going to be a string, right? And then we're going to need to have, what, a name? And that's going to be a string as well. And then a description. Is that how it works? Like this, I think. All right, so owner. Oh, crap. We have to have an owner ID? Is it an owner ID? It's an owner ID. Which means that now I need to go get the owner ID, and I have to get the GraphQL node ID of the owner ID, which means that now I have to go list owners. And this is required. Body is not required. Client mutation ID is not required. Name is required. Owner ID is required. Repository IDs is required. Okay, that means that I need to have the repository IDs. That's reasonable, I suppose. All right, repository IDs. Repository IDs. See, this is what it's like to program in Java, by the way. So if you want to know why do people hate Java, it's because of this crap. Because let me name the thing, let me name the name of the thing, and then let me use the name with the name of the thing by the name of the thing so that we know the name of the thing. Because I got to pass in the owner ID as an owner ID, as an owner ID, as an owner ID, as an owner ID. I guess technically this one could be collapsed. But you get my point. In fact, I probably will just collapse those. I'm of two minds about collapsing properties like this. What else? We need, and of course the repository IDs are going to have to refer to GraphQL IDs and so on and so forth. Or maybe we get lucky. Maybe we get lucky and we could just use the repository ID, but I doubt it. This actually makes me angry. It actually makes me angry because these are people who are supposed to be smart people that are making intentionally stupid choices. They didn't just do this by accident. They engineered this on purpose. That's why it makes me angry. Okay, let me check comments. Is there anything I like? I like JavaScript just fine. I like JavaScript, Golang. I like most of Rust. I like simple tools. I hate TypeScript and I hate GraphQL, and those two, I hate them for the same reason. I hate GraphQL more than I hate TypeScript, though. I'll have to say that. Oh, good. Go away. Go away. You like those? If you like those, just get out of here. But then again, I don't know if you've been exposed to other alternatives. So, if you've only ever known GraphQL and every time you use it, you use one of those little auto-populate tools, which, by the way, maybe I should go spend some time looking for the auto-populate tool for this. I hate the idea that you cannot write GraphQL by hand. You can't. You have to use a tool or spend lots of time in documentation. Is there a playground here or something? Is there? Because it seems that there would be a playground. Do they not have? Let me just look for GitHub GraphQL Playground. No, that's not the right thing. GraphQL Explorer. Using the Explorer. GraphiQL. In browser IDE. Get an OAuth token. See, I mean, this is just... I got to go get an OAuth token. It's just overly complicated. It's so much work. And there's no benefit to it. I don't know of any benefit that there is. On the back end, I bet all their back end engineers complain about it because it's complicated on the back end. It's just complicated. Yeah, edit in my head exploding there. That'd be great. Okay. All right, I'm going to calm down so that I can focus on getting work done. It's just, this should not be so hard. This should be a very simple thing. All I want to do, like the one that we did before, that was simple. That was super easy. There was nothing complex or hard about what we did before. And then this, it's just an easy 10-step process to be able to. Okay, I'm calming down. I'm calming down. I'm calming down. I'm practicing my Zen. The world is great. I get paid to do this. The world is great. The world is great. I'm choosing to do this. And I'm choosing to do this because it has wealthy rewards. Thank goodness to the people who made it so complicated so that it can take longer, so that I can get paid more. Okay. Name, owner ID, repository IDs. Got it. So now I need to figure out how to get my repository IDs in the GraphQL format, because like I said, I think that they have different IDs between GraphQL. Yeah. Any string. Oh, good. So I don't have to go fetch the GraphQL ID separately. This is good. That makes me happy. All right, and this is going to be like that, I think. Except, did I define what an ID type is? Let me make sure that this is correct. ID like that. And so that needs to be ID. So owner needs to be of the type ID, which is a subclass of string. Now, why I need to do this in a mutation is actually kind of strange to me, because if it already knows all this information on the other side, why does it require me to give it yet again? That seems kind of silly, you know? Like, why do I need to tell you that this is a not null ID if you already know you need to get a not null ID? All right, so this is all correct now. And then, so owner ID, is it going to allow me to use a REST API owner ID? Okay, it sounds like it might just let me use the... We'll try it out. We'll see. Oh, but wait, how do I get the ID? I'm going to have to use GraphQL to get the ID anyway. So let's do... Oh, we'll do a little... I'm just going to put it here for now, just for funsies, even though it's not that funsy. We'll do orgs, and then we'll do org.gets. And then we'll get the org by the name, I think. And then we're going to do one of these things. Except this is not going to be called project item. This is going to be called project board. Maybe, I don't know. Project board. Dot project, I think, is what it gets back. I could be wrong about that. Let's see. This is such a wonderful opportunity for me to make more money. That's what this is. All right, name is defined but never used because I didn't do anything with it yet, because I need to go figure out how to get organizations by this. Okay, first let me go back. This create project input fields, but what did it return? I want to go find out what it returned. I haven't used GraphQL yet and used REST for all API stuff I build, but looks better than SOAP. But maybe that's just I've written a lot of XML for Magneto shops. Yeah, I don't know that SOAP is any better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to get back is a project, and then from a project I can select what I want. Holy moly, what was that? Columns? I guess it might be good to get columns. I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to have to take the time to set up that GraphQL Explorer, because this might just take too long to do without the GraphQL Explorer. So I'm going to go... I'm going to go create a personal access token, and I'm going to need to have a bunch of scopes. Oh goodness, it needs a ton of permissions. Come Why does this not click me through to my settings? All right. I think it's account/tokens or account/token or something like that. No, settings token. I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't link me to it. It's telling me what to do, how to get there. So I'm going to go, I'm actually going to switch accounts maybe. Because I have a test account. For this token, I'll just use my main account. It'll be okay. Let's see. Let me go find tokens, token, developer settings, personal access token. Oh, it's settings, tokens. All right, and then I need to give it all the repo permissions, status, deployment, needs to have user permissions, all of user. It needs to have public repo. It needs to have all of repo, it looks like. No, it says it needs all of repo. Yep, it does. Okay, and then it needs read of public key. Let's see, read public key. That's going to need read of GPG key. And it's going to need read of org. Okay. And it doesn't need repo invite or security events, but it has to have repo, so it's got to have all those things. Sorry, this is what I'm looking at right now. I should have brought this over here. All right, so it needs to have all these things. Good. And then this is going to be GrahpQL API Explorer. And I'm just going to let it be there for 30 days. Okay, and now I've copied that. Now I need to go over to the Explorer. Let me find this so I can paste it in. Crap. Okay, so apparently I need to install something. No, come on. All right, let me read. I'm going to use my third grade reading skills. Let's find out. Using the Explorer, using GraphQL, accessing sidebars, variable pane. I just don't want all of this nonsense. All right, use the GraphQL. No, I don't really want to do that. I want to just use, does GitHub not have an Explorer? Okay. Okay, what is the Explorer? Here it is. Okay. So now, oh, this lets me sign in. That was just a bunch of nonsense. So let's see. We want to do dash testing. Dash testing. Grant. Authorize GitHub. Okie dokie dee. All right. I am happy. I am happy. I am happy. See, I can smile. I'm so happy to be using GraphQL. It makes my heart sing. I can only think about $signs while I'm using GraphQL because they are so big. Yes, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so I need to get orgs. I don't know what this is. look, for God, how could you not hate GraphQL? Please tell me, how can you not hate this monstrosity? How? What is wrong with your brain that you would rather something take 10 minutes to do rather than be copy and paste? Now I've devolved to personal attacks. See the kind of monster I become when I have to use this crap? No, I just like, give me anything about this that's good. Anything at all. How do I query for an organization? I don't even know. How do I do that? Does it just give me all organizations? Okay, what? Organizations. Look up an organization. I don't understand how this actually is not helping me. Now, okay, so now I've got the autocomplete tool, but it doesn't help because I still have to go back to this thing. All right, let's look up organization. Organization. How do I get a list of organizations? I just want to see. Organization. How do I get it? Oh, you were trolling. Okay. Well, now you see the real kind of person I am. Trolled me too hard. I couldn't take it. Errors. Missing required arguments. Login. Okay. So how do I do that? Is it like this? Login. No, $sign login is login. No, is what? String, maybe a string, and then query. Where do I put the variables? Do I put the variables here? Variables? No. Do I put the variables out here? Variables. Freffen Huffernuffer. Okay. Where do I define the variables? Oh, the variables go down here. Okay, so login is -testing. Is that, I don't like that? Oh, no, it wants it. No, now all of a sudden you want JSON. $sign. Oh, maybe this needs to go up here. Okay, now we got another one. Maybe because I didn't use this, maybe I need to put login here. Is that how it goes? Login there? Nope. Now that doesn't work. Okay. I need to do input. Oh, okay, because this is a comment, right? So blah blah fart. Right? Is that hold on. Let me go look. Query, and then organization. Oh, okay. And then, so it's what I want to put in, which would be login. So this does need to be organization. And then what I want to get out. Argument literals incompatible. Type name is field. Argument name is login. All right, let's take a look again. Organization. Login is a string. Maybe I just need to copy this and see if this works. Or maybe it's because, no, because I've got an ID there. Okay, login. Oh, $sign login. Right. Okay, so login, $sign login. There we go. Okay. Now I have an organization ID from GraphQL. Okay. Do I want anything outside of it? Probably the name. Do we have a name? Can we do that? Okay. All right. Let me see what other trolling stuff we got here. Pro, you save on the amount of data sent and request made. That is completely false. That is absolute BS. So that is what it says on the slides at the conferences. That's not what really happens. What really happens is that not only do you not save, you expend much more. Because now, for example, your caching strategy is much more complex. And people go very, very deep, right? So when people start using GraphQL, they start going very, very deep. So the queries become more complex and the caching is worse. Because think about it like this, okay? And from the ETL perspective, okay? You know, if you want to be able to charge people more money because you want to make stuff more complicated, GraphQL, awesome. If you want to save on bandwidth and you want to save on developer time, GraphQL. Because think about it this way. If you've got a set of items, generally speaking, well, then again, I don't know about with ETL. So, all right, first of all, what real ETL is when you're dealing with data warehouses. Okay, we're throwing this buzzword around and we're calling everything ETL because that's what the cool kids are doing these days. Real ETL is about data warehouses, not about making an API request to Spotify or doing this kind of thing. We're just calling it that because it's a buzzword, it's popular right now. You just call anything ETL, and since nobody knows what ETL means, it sticks, okay? Real ETL is about data warehouses. So let's throw that aside because you're not going to be using GraphQL with data warehouses. But for colloquial sake, we'll still call this ETL, all right? You are generally dealing with a limited set of data. So for example, I want information about this organization. I want to be able to cache it because the information about the organization probably isn't going to change. It's not going to change on every single request. And if in fact I was going to change the information about the organization, I could update my local copy. I think it's reasonable that anytime you do an update, you just do a full read and then reload your cache that way. But ideally, and again, you know, if you got a framework that does this in GraphQL and you actually have it configured correctly, then maybe it can be better. But just the dumb, naive implementation of, okay, I'm going to grab an organization and I'm just going to keep that organization in cache. Now, anytime that I need some details about that organization, I'm going to grab the organization from cache. So I don't need to request the organization details every single time I go to get some data. Instead, I can just request the organizational details once, and then anytime that I need the organizational details, I can grab them from cache. And I might want to expire that cache and say, okay, maybe every 15 minutes I go get that information again. But that's the way that you can have effective caching. And that's just the old SQL style table strategy. So there's nothing really that interesting about it. Anyway, all right, now I got this thing working. Let me go plug this in. Oh, man. Did I get it right? So that's get node ID. All right, this is create project. This is get org. So I actually need login is what I need for this. So yeah, I would say show me somebody who's actually managed to save bandwidth using GraphQL. Not a conference slide where somebody in purple jeans and really cool glasses from Parker Walby or whatever it is talking about it. But show me somebody who's actually saved data with it. And what you're going to find is, you're going to find that person who's actually saved data with it. And you're also going to find that they have an engineering team that is able to fine tune it and tweak every last little bit out of it. Whereas opposed to the dumb approach of REST. So yes, if you want to get extremely sophisticated with GraphQL, then you can. But most people are going to code naively. And so most of the time you're going to lose. you know. In the case of what GitHub does, they do send a little bit too much data back in the REST API to the point that it's not 100% useful all the time. So, you know, I don't know. You definitely don't want to send people too much information on purpose. I definitely would have to, you know, you don't want to send everything every time. But you could do this with REST too. You know, there's nothing with REST. You just specify a list of query parameters and say, you know, return, and then you just put query parameters. And this works just fine. There's a standard for it. It's worked since the PHP days. People have done this in PHP. There's no need to invent something new for that particular case. All right. So is this right now? Do I have this? Do I finally have this right? Am I finally going to be able to do this? I think so. I think I finally have this right, and I'm going to be able to do it. All right. So org.data.project.organization. No, organization.id. And then here we're just going to have login, right? Okay. And I guess, I don't know, we'll trim that. Sure, whatever. Okay, so now maybe I've got this figured out. All right, create. What was I trying to do? Okay, so I needed to get the owner ID. All right, so I'm just going to do this. And this is going to be owner. I think that's what I'm calling it, is owner. So ideally, I would be caching this information in memory so I'm not requesting it every time. But, you know, since we're using GrahpQL and it's only an extra however many milliseconds of latency, despite the fact that the bandwidth cost doesn't actually change anything in terms of me being able to get the data quickly, we'll just leave that there. Okay, that didn't make any sense. Okay, so there's owner ID now. And then what? No, is this right? Hold on. Is this create a project? Owner ID. So we don't take the owner ID. All right, so let's do this. We'll do if not owner ID. All right, because this is only happening once per run, I actually am just going to leave it like that. Because it's not, if we get to a point where we need to fetch this a bunch, then I will cache this so that we're not doing all those requests over and over again. But since we basically just need to do this once per run, and this is an init util that's only going to be run fairly infrequently, I don't think I need to cache that right now. All right, so is this what I'm doing? I created a repo. Now I can create a project. Okay. All right, I need repository IDs. Okay, so now I have to do the same thing, but for repos. I have to go list repos, and I need to be able to get the IDs of the repos, but I kind of just want the repo that matches. Let's see. Does the repo give me back an ID? Let's check this out. Okay, so that's all I'm doing is get or create right now. All right, so I do think, for example, this is a little bit too much data back, right? If this is your REST call for every time somebody needs to get a little bit of information about a repository, I would say maybe you don't need to send that back, but let me show you how you do this just real quick. I'm going to show you how you would do this in REST. If you wanted to do this, if you wanted to build a framework around this for REST, all you need to do is do this. Fields equals X, Y, Z, If you wanted to get a subpart of Z, you could do, for example, z.a, z.a.b, and so on. You know, or if you need multiple parts of z.a.b, or you could do it this way as well. You could do z.a, and then you could put b, c, d, and then you could do, I mean, it does get a little bit weird if you're trying to do deeply nested objects, but ideally you don't do deeply nested objects. You just kind of get the stuff that's, you know, kind of at the level that you need it. So, but anyway, you know, it's really tomato potato on that one. All right, what's the ID for this thing? And a lot of times you'll see that APIs, instead of having the same starting URL 100 times over, they'll just give a base URL, and then they'll only give the URL to the stuff that changes. So here would be your base URL. And then instead of repeating this over and 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 over again, you just have the endpoint that's the slash whatever. And then you just join the base URL with the whatever. Okay, ID. So my question is this ID, is this the same? If I were to just do this, is this ID the same? Let's check that out real quick. So here's node ID. These might be the same. Let's do this. Let's go to decimal to base 64. We might learn something important here. Decimal to base 64. I actually like this site. All right, interpret as decimal. Those don't match up, which makes sense. Okay, so we do need to get an ID for the repository. Node ID. Okay, good. So we get node ID. That's what we need right there. Node ID. Okay, cool. So let's go back here. Repo. So we're going to need to do await gh.projects.get or create. And then we're going to have a name for it, which we'll do process.env.github project is what that will be. I'm going to say project name because we might actually still need to use the way that we've been using it. And then repository IDs, repo.nodeID. There we go. So this should work now. Okay, sorry, I'm going to check some comments. In my experience, proper caching is trivial to implement and it's more difficult with GrahpQL. Is it the same? Good question. Sorry, I missed something. Hey, everybody, and welcome, Kirglow. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome to the channel. I don't remember your name anyway, and I remember everybody's name. I'm like an elephant. See this face? Woo! Elephant. Actually, I don't remember people's names, but I do remember words better than I remember faces, probably because it's less information to store. So anyway, hi Kirglow. Welcome to the channel. If you find this to be useful or at least entertaining, consider a thumbs up and a sub. It is my birthday about 6 months from now, and I am trying to get to 10 regular Twitch viewers on Twitch and 5K subs on the YouTubes, or followers on the Twitches, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, all right, so I think I got this. This is what's not going to need, this is what is going to need to get passed in. We don't actually have this yet. So what I want is, I guess I want to be able to find the project by its name. So let's go back into the env file here. So we're going to say project name, and I think I kind of want this to be more of a pattern than a name. I'm not really sure. Nah, we'll just make it a name. So let's go back here. Let's see what I can get done. Let's see. So what, Kirglow, I'm interested. What background do you come from? What do you program in the most? Okay, I'm back here because no, I want to look at the REST API, right? Whoops, what did I just close out the REST API? Yes, I wanted to go to, no, I wanted to actually look at presently what is the name of our board. I guess it doesn't matter what the name of our board is. Let's say migration 2 because this is the one that we need to find. So we're going to do some sort of get. We're going to do gh.projects.get, and we're going to try to find the project by its name. And then we're going to console.log that result. And then we're going to do the create for it. All right. Right now I'm streaming in the general category. I recommend switching to game and software development for more views. Hey, thanks. I really appreciate that tip. I have no idea how to do that. If you would so kindly, I will give you a link to the Discord. And if you don't use Discord, then maybe this would be annoying because you can't give a link in the channel, but I would appreciate so much if you would do that. I am the dumbest Twitch streamer you know in terms of anything about Twitch streaming, unless you commonly watch channels that are just people that have no idea what they're doing on Twitch. So I went in and tried to configure my category at some point, and I thought I did. And the tool that I use is called Restream for when I start a stream. And it does not let me, it allows me to pick a game on Twitch. So if I pick category, let me see if I have software. What? That was not there before. Okay, I'm switching my category right now. I'm going to have to check this out because I have gone in and tried to set the category and it will only allow me to, before it would only allow me to select a game. And so I had to select the name of a game, and so I wouldn't do it because it wouldn't set a game. This time I went in there and I just typed in software and it worked. So maybe I went into it a different way. Okay. Johannes, I love you, man. But you can't have my Bud Light. Actually, no one would get that reference unless you're an American and you were the same age as me. Sorry, my birthday is my own personal information. I'd be happy to tell you, actually, in a DM, but I'm not going to broadcast that. I don't know why, but I don't know. Somebody might give me a gift on my birthday or something, and that would be inappropriate. Recently beginning into Rust. Oh, great. Hey, check out the Utah Rust channel on YouTube. We have great presentations. We had the author of Rust for Rustations come to our meetup last month. Oh, yeah. And we're popular enough that we actually get a channel name. So that's cool. So it is youtube.com/c/Utah Rust. So check that out. Sweet. I am so grateful for you, Kirglo. I want to give you a thumbs up. If there's an editor editing this, then put a thumbs up. By the way, I'm looking for an editor to help out with well, I don't know if I really want to edit these types of streams, but sometimes there's little clips where I get really angry about something and just go off the rails. And then For God says, oh, actually, I was just trolling you. And then I have to be like, well, I look like an idiot. Those might be good to clip. I don't know about the other stuff, but there might be some highlight reels or something. Anyway, so I got my project now, maybe. Now I got to go write this again. I got to go write more of this stuff. But you know what? This is going to come in really handy in the future. Just having all of this stuff around as examples for other things that I do with GitHub, which hopefully we'll do more stuff with Dash and GitHub. I think that this might, Ryan, you tell me what you think, but I think this is going to pave the way for us to maybe have other utils that people can use. So I hope that this all turns out well. Okay, so not projects.add, but I need a projects.get. So here's a projects.get node ID. Is that what I wanted from here? Okay, this is project number. No, I need to get it by name. I have project number, but how do I get a project by its name? Or no, because I need to be able to get a project by its name. I need to be able to list projects. That's what I need to do. So we need a projects.list is what we need next. Okay, so projects list, and then I'll provide some sort of filter option. All right, let's see what we got over here. Let's go into our GraphQL query mabob. So we can probably query a project. Can we query a project? All right, how did we do it over here? Okay, we can query, I'm a little confused, project next. Oh, this means beta. It doesn't mean next as in sequence. It means beta. This is just one of those things that happens as a matter of internal tooling. So projects beta has 3 different names. It's called Mimex, it's called projects beta, and it's called project next. So within an organization, because a project can belong to an organization or a repository. And we want to look at the organization level. So we want projects next. And then my guess is we want to get nodes or no. What if I just do this? Can I just say, give me this? Is this going to work? Oh no, that sounds terrible. Okay, what else can I get on here? Can I get a name? No, I can't. Seriously? Maybe I can do project? I don't know. How do you search in GraphQL? Name. There's no name. There's no way to get a name. Do I need to do this? I can get number. Projects next? Can I get what? What can I get here? Okay, fine. Now you're upset with me that I'm not using a variable. Do we really have to do all this nonsense? Can I just parse error? Because there's parentheses? Does it need to be like this? Okay. Maybe the organization, do we need to specify the login for the organization? Let me just back up here. Go back. Okay, organization. Now can I say projects next? Can we do that? Missing pagination boundaries. Okay, so can I do first 0, last a billion? Passing both first and last is not allowed. Okay, fine. Okay, so first, what if I just do 10 then? First 10? Oh, the first 10. Then I think I want the last 10. I probably want the last 100 projects. Okay, but can I get their names? Is there not a way for me to find out what these projects are? Okay, maybe I can go look at the documentation. Where's the documentation at? All right, let's see here. Yeah, you can edit some emojis in the stream already. Good call, Jonas. A note-taking app on top of the GitLab API. That's cool. Yeah, I've heard of people doing stuff like that. I think that's an excellent just project in general. Something really simple like that. That's a good. And are you more on the beginner level or are you more intermediate? I'm guessing you're probably intermediate. Are you trying to automate your own projects or making a general automation tool? Yes. So let me give you a little bit of background since you are kind of joining in midstream, literally. I'm working on a tool to migrate from Trello to GitHub Projects Beta. And as part of the migration, basically the migration needs to pull in thousands of items potentially, and at least hundreds. If we pick the smaller set, it's hundreds. If we pick the full set, it's thousands. And so because we're going to need to try a couple of different strategies for how we approach this, and we might need to segment it into different boards. I want to make it so that with the tool, I can say, hey, we're going to segment these out to this board and we're going to segment these out to this board. And we need to have the board set up in a particular way, or the project's beta boards. And so that's what I'm working on right now, is the ability to automatically create it basically for testing fixtures. And so that when we actually figure out what it is we want to do, we're not going through the manual steps of it. It's not that it takes that much time with the manual steps relative to this. It's more that because we have to test it several times and try different iterations, that this is hopefully worth it. I don't know, with the amount of time that it's taking me to do this right now, I don't know if it's not worth just taking 15 minutes every time we need to go set up the projects and stuff again. But I don't know. For better or for worse, I'm invested into it now, and I think that I'm hoping that it pays dividends. But I might have been wrong to go down this path. Time will tell. But I definitely, and the reason I have to use GrahpQL is because Projects Beta is not in the REST API. All right, let's see. What is that doing? Go back. What? Did my keyboard get messed up? Okay, go back to objects. Organization projects. Yeah, so I'm looking for projects next. Projects next connection. Can I get the names? A project to search for. Okay, so maybe I can do query. Let's try this. Let's try putting in the query. Oh, whoops. Over here. So maybe I can do query, and then I can put in my, I don't know how this has to, is it migration to? Okay, so that does find it. What if I just put in migration? Does that work? Okay, migration to. All right, so this is a pattern match. Got it. Which that can work, except that I don't see how I can bring back any useful information. Okay, what wasn't I just looking at something that did have useful information? Maybe it was over here. All right, projects next. So I can do a query, which is great. But I would really like to int number. So here I can only get it by the number, and here I can get it by a query, but I don't see how from here I can then get the project itself. Maybe if I look at project next connection, page info, total count, edges, nodes. I want to get a node description fields. Okay, so maybe I just need to tell this to go to nodes rather than edges. Can I just say nodes? And then from node, can you give me the ID this way? Because I don't know the edges is helpful. Okay, so there's an ID, and then maybe I can get a description as well. Nope, I don't want description then. I want title. Okay, cool. So this is what I can do then. All right. So this is essentially correct. All right. Cool. We're on a path now. I'm gaining momentum. Oops. Okay. That's not working. Okay, this is not what I want. This is what project boards. And why is it complaining? It's complaining because I'm missing something in terms of probably, maybe this goes here. It does go there. Okay, cool. All right, so I probably have this wrong. Let's see, this should be here. That should be like this. Okay, cool. All right, and then here I need to pass in variables again. Sorry, I'm going to check the questions in just a bit. Or the comments, sorry, not questions. Not necessarily questions. They could be questions. Okay, so we're going to call it name. And then I got to pass it in here as name, which, weird thing. Now that's a string, which now this is, I guess this is actually, technically it's title. I'm just going to keep calling it name. I don't know. This is one of those things where, what should it be? Should it be abstraction, which is most people are going to say this is the name of the board? Or should it be literal? Because it actually is the title. Or we could say that it's a query, whatever. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through these project boards, and then we should only return one. Project boards dot for each, and this is going to get us. So I'm going to call this get by name. And this is going to be find. And I guess technically two boards can have the same name is the problem. In which case I'm going to say use case not supported. Oh, 6 years professionally, 15 years total. Oh yeah, so you're up there. Would you consider yourself a senior level developer then? And of course I did not see. I don't remember what you're doing sounds like a good approach. I don't know what that's in reference to anymore, and I have the memory of a goldfish. So, and about the time it takes the stream to catch up, in between the time I say something, you hear it and respond, is about the limit of my memory in the first place. But I think you're saying because we're going to have to do this multiple times, do the test fixtures rather than setting up by hand each time. Yes, all this general GrahpQL GitHub stuff will come in handy for future work I have in mind. I'm a little behind on the stream every now and then. Are you trying? Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're back up to speed there. Good. Good. I'm glad that Ryan likes it. Let's see here. So first of all, I'm going to call a map on this just to ease my brain a little bit. So we're going to do data dot projects. No. Is it data dot projects next dot nodes? Hold on. Boards dot data dot projects next dot nodes. Is it this way? Like this? I think. All right, so node, well, at that point we just, oh yeah. So node, and we want to return name equals node dot title. All right. So now we can get the project by name. All right, great. And I'm actually going to say, we have owner here. I'm going to do let owner node ID is going to be an empty string. I'm just going to place that as an empty string for now. Owner ID. So let's go here. And I'm going to say if not owner ID, we're going to do owner node ID equals. And if not owner ID, we're going to do owner node ID equals owner ID equals owner node ID. So I should probably have this init somewhere. I'm gonna say to do place this init somewhere sane. I don't have any init here yet. All right. So I'm going to need an init somewhere for this, because that's not going to be the only place I'm going to use this. But here's a little bit of dirty caching. I could do that cleaner, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. Write everything twice. Don't try to make all the decisions up front. Do it once, then do it twice, then start making decisions. Okay. So we've got our get by name. Let's go ahead and test that that works. Although, what else do we want here? We probably want fields, right? Let me see. I know we want custom fields for sure. Do we have custom fields? No. But we have fields? Okay, we've got fields. I think we want the fields there. Because how do we do it where we have the custom fields? I'm not going to worry about it right now. We're just going to do this. Okay, so let me go test this now. All right. So now get by name. Technically, this is get by title. To do, should this be get by title? I think it should be get by title. I'm going to hold that for a minute before I act on that, though. All right. Oh, and I gotta block the bot. Okay. So I've got some resources, Kirglo, that I would love for you to take a look at and for you to potentially contribute to. So it's creedsofcraftsmanship.com, and these are the best talks that I found. In fact, there's a new one that I don't know if I put on there yet, that I just found recently. But these are the best software engineers in the industry with the best advice that I can find. Let me see if I can open this up. I don't want to play this right now. But this is a Google talk. I'm just gonna go add this in a comment right now on there. There we go. Bless me. Did I finish my do yet? I did not. All right, so I got another half hour. I need to get this to a good place where I don't feel crappy about the work that I got done today. I think we're almost there. I think if I can just do just a little bit more, I might be able to fit in, now that I'm kind of getting to the groove of this, I might be able to fit in the field stuff. Okay, parse error on name. What did I do wrong? Get by name. Okay, name, and then I'm bringing in name, and then I'm dealing with name. But this is actually title? Not title? No? No, that's create. Wait, hold on. It's name when you call create, but it's title when you call get? Is that what I'm to understand? Oh, it needs to be $ name. Okay, cool. Let's try this again. Okay, fields must have selection. Did I mean fields blah, blah, blah? Probably. All right, what's the fields blah, blah, blah? just go alphabetically, just looking for anything that makes sense. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Maybe it's nodes. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Nodes keeps on coming up. Maybe there's nothing in fields. It's only nodes. Okay, so then I probably want an ID, and I probably want, is it name? And I probably want settings, and I probably want, let's see, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Okay. All right, that's good enough for me for now. I think that's right. Let's try this. I'll copy this over. How does that, what does this look like right now? Okay. Let's go with last 100. That can't come back to bite me. Well, we're not going to have 100 fields, so this is going to be okay. Settings. Interesting. I don't know that those are settings or things that I actually care about.
We'll need to leave in 25 minutes.
25 minutes. I got it. Thank you, Hanene. All right. So let's bring this back over here. Update this little ditty. Okay. And let's move that in. And let's move this around. Now let's move this here. Okay. What the letter L just happened? Why is that going there? Oh, I know. Because the tick marks. Got it. All right. I should probably just move all of this in by 1, maybe? All right. Now I think we're going to be able to do the get by name. Undefined reading nodes. Okay. Nodes.find. So I guess I just need to see what is the shape of this data. So if I console.log project boards, that's probably, maybe this is going to be an array. Let's find out. We're going to find out here. Okay, so it's data, organization, projects next. Okay, so data.organization.projectsnext.nodes, maybe. Like that? All right. Excellent. And did we get anything out of that at the end? So title, migration to fields. And then I just kind of want to unwrap that because that's redonkulous. Let's do, we're going to do, so we're going to return that. And then I'm going to do, let's do this. Let board equals, and then board.fields.map field. I think I just want to turn field.nodes maybe. What does this look like? Okay, fields is an object, and then nodes is underneath of it. This is another one of my problems with GraphQL is the pluralization is completely. I mean, I guess you get used to the edges and nodes terminology, but the idea that fields is singular throws me off a bit. There. Wait, board. Let's see if I can spell. Maybe I want to take bets on my spelling abilities. Ba-da-da-da! Okay, see, that would be a great place to edit in a small item catch. let's see. I forget the website that I used to use for this. Blip. I think it's called Blip. It's soundbite clips. Is it Bleep? Blip? I'm going to just search Blip soundbites. This is my greatest contribution to the internet. It might not be around anymore. I would think it would be, though, because it seemed that it was gaining popularity. I just can't remember what the name of it is. Hold on, give me 1 second here. Blurp? Maybe Blurp? Is it Blurp? I don't use it often enough. I think this is it. Here we go. That's the one. Actually, this is the one that I uploaded. I think it might be the same one. Ah. Okay, so they're different. One's item catch, the other one's small item catch. A great contribution to the internet. Oh, hey, everybody. Wow. Oof. Don't I feel naked? You think you're just alone with a couple of your friends, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of people join in on the stream. Whew. So I'm AJ O'Neill. I'm working on a project to migrate between Trello and GitHub projects beta. And I was just taking a moment to celebrate that after, I don't know, an hour, I finally got the right thing out of GrahpQL. And if you want to hear my rant about how I hate GraphQL because it's so overly complicated and you can never figure out how to do anything, and you can't just look at a documentation page, you have to go to one of these auto explorers and you have to just look through things alphabetically, then, you know, that's on the stream earlier on. So hello, everybody. Welcome. Let's see. I can't promise you a gift basket yet for advancing my JF knowledge and getting me a job at Dropbox. Oh, cool. I got you a job at Dropbox? What? No, that's you. You got you a job at Dropbox if you got the job because you've been, you know, doing all the stuff. Okay, because after passing the first code challenge, they have another coding challenge. Of course they do. All right, FYI, you can view the GQL docs in GraphQL Playground by clicking Docs button at the top right of the playground. All right. Docs button. Yeah, I can, but is this any more helpful? Okay, so let's go. Yeah. I mean, yes, it is. It is more helpful than just typing A and then B and then C and so on. It's just, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. It's just, it's not, it's none of the, it's just not in a, it's not in a friendly format to me. I like the way that REST documentation is because you see the whole object in one view and you don't have to go drill down and drill down and drill down. You can just see, okay, here's what I need to work with. Here's what I need to be concerned about. And that's not universally true. There are REST APIs that are documented in this exact same way where you do have to drill down and drill down and drill down. PayPal was pretty bad that way. But just as a convention, usually you can get something that you can copy and paste and just, it works. And then you don't, you know, it's built around specific use cases of what you're likely to do rather than saying, oh, you might want to do anything ever in the whole universe and we can't possibly conceivably think of what someone might want to do as a general, here's what most people want to do. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. Okay, so I got my Git projects by name, and now I need to create if I don't get something back. So do I have my projects.create working? So here's my projects.create. And, oh, and I need the repository ID. That's the GraphQL repository ID. Okay, I think I'm ready to do this now. And I think we'll do this and we'll call it a stream. But by the way, those of you that are joining in, please introduce yourselves. Tell me who you are, where you're from, what you do. I would love to know. I would be so happy to say hello to you. And I am doing some work stuff here, but we can take a minute to do a little bit of introductions, or you can ask me questions even if it's not directly related to this. Feel free to check out other vids on the channel at some point. I guess you're watching this one and you've got the benefit of it being live, so don't do that right now, I guess, maybe. Okay, so I've got my get by name, and now I need to have my create. So okay, let's make sure that our get by name. So I'm going to create a migration 3, and this should return nothing, which means that this is going to be broken. Because when it gets to nodes will be empty, so it will find nothing. And so if not board, then return nothing. That should be appropriate. And then replace this double nesting. And okay, I tried to create something once that ended up being a little bit like GrahpQL, because I was trying to create something that was completely machine friendly. And that's the problem with creating something that's completely machine friendly, is that it ends up being really gnarly and you get lots of nesting because everything has to be consistent. And so you end up with things like the nodes and the edges, etc., because you're trying to be machine friendly. And you end up with having to index everything by an array versus being able to index it by an object. So there's trade-offs, but I kind of leaned away from that because it just got too complicated. In a perfect ideal world, I don't know. In a world where we now have .find in JavaScript, I feel that it's not so difficult to have things indexed as an array, and then you have to find it by ID, because you're not going to have 10,000 items in the array, so it doesn't matter the little tiny bit of extra work you do to go through a couple of iterations to find something by ID. Yeah. Anyway, all right, so now my get by name should be working. Let's go ahead and check that now I get nothing and it doesn't crash. Good, I get nothing. Excellent. So then if not project, then what we want to do is we want to do our create. And then we'll wrap this in a get or create. So I think at this point we should have a repo. The repo has a node ID. We have a project. And then I guess at the end we should end up with, can we create custom fields when we create the project? That's a question that we can have. All right, so that's name. I don't know if that's the right thing, though. Let me go back to this and see if I can figure this out. Because if we're going to do a create, let's go back. How do we get rid of this? No, I want to get rid of this. Go away. I guess I need that, though. Okay, so I can't. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Can I just resize this? Is this too big? Nope, it's not too big. It's the right size. Can I do this? Nope, I can't. I just got to deal with what I got to deal with. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's go back here, and this doesn't allow mutations though. Okay, so I need to go back to objects, and I need to look at creating a project, because project is an object. It's actually called project next, so I need a project next, and I want to create a project next. Do we have is it called create project next? No. No, I need mutations. Mutations, I need a mutation for project next. Add project next item. Can we not do this? I'm a little confused. Create project. Ah, we don't have a create project next. Crap. So some of this is in vain. Because I do have to go create a project next on my own, it looks like. Creates a new project. And this is the project. Did that work right? I don't think that worked the way that we were hoping it would. Okay, project. Columns. Wait, column connection. Is this... Okay, let's see. Within a project owner. Bum, ba-da-na-na. Okay, so in this one's called columns, but in the other one's called fields? Oh, because that is the board view versus the... All right. I don't know what I did there. I had my hand on the wrong side of the keyboard. That's what happened. Okay. Projects next. Nope. Project next. Can I just search through here? Project next. Using the API to manage projects. Beta. Yes, that's what I want. Whoa, hold on. You've got to be kidding me. What? When did this get here? Okay, Ryan, you're my witness. Oh, okay, never mind. This is the GrahpQL. I was going to say, you're my witness. We did not have a REST API for this before. Okay. Finding information about a project, automating projects beta. Okay, so we may just have to go create a project by hand. That's fine. Hey, what's up, Josue? Long time no see. Welcome back. It's nice to see you. Oops. Okie dokie day. All right, so I just had to check something over there. All right, so I think we don't have a way to create a GitHub project. That's fine. This is a fine manual step. We don't need any other manual steps. So there is no GitHub projects create. We have to create a project first, but that's fine. So basically, if not project, we just throw an error. Well, we can console that error. I can just say, yeah, I should rename that the title. Project title does not exist and cannot be created automatically. Is it? This is one of those things where is it Kali or is it Ali? Automatically. Automatically. I think that's the right spelling. All right, there we go. Please go create it at, and then we'll put in here, https github.com/ process.env.github.org/projects beta or something, or what do they call it? Let's go grab this. Okay. So dash testing under projects type equals beta. Okay, cool. This is what we need. Whoops, I got the $sign is missing. All right, there we go. All right, and then we're going to need to add the custom fields as well. I don't know if I got time to do that right now. And projects. What did I do? Oh, that's not right. Oh, cool. We go here and we just new project beta. Actually, I wonder if I could put in there, hold on, new project beta. Let's see, can I refresh this? Did I already create one? So new project beta. Can I specify, so type equals and title equals migration 3. Can I do this? Sometimes you get lucky and you can do that. I wonder what this is. I'm just going to check and see what this is called because it'd be cool if I could just have it set up with the right name off the bat. So label ID mimics title input. Sorry, you can't see what I'm seeing right now. I'm just looking at this element. I think I can bring this over. I don't think there's anything sensitive in here. Okay, mimics title input. Mimics title. Where's name? Do we have name equals input? I don't see a name equals here. So we could go mimics title input. I'm just going to try this. I'm just going to see what happens if I just do this. Because this has been discovered before on GitHub where they have this sort of thing. Nope. Okay, that's fine. I was just thinking maybe we could do it. All right, so what we're going to call this is migration 3. So now if I run this again, oh, this should work. Cool. This is good. All right, now I need to figure out how to create some custom fields, and then we're done with this. But I have to go now, so this stream is coming to a close. I am just going to see, did we modify ETL.js? That's from something else. Okay, I need to... This is what I need to do. I need to add this. I just need to commit this as whip. Not sure. And then I need to check out main. And whoops, I need git stash. Git stash. Git checkout main. Git pull. Git checkout -b automate. And git stash pop. Okay. Git diff. Let's take a look. I think this is fine. Owner. Okay, I just need to check and make sure do I have any console logs that I need to burn out of here. That one should not be a log. That one should be a warn. Let's just go ahead and change that. And I don't need... Yeah, that can stay a log. We don't need to debug that one out. Wait a minute. But what was that whole thing about the repo IDs? Why would I have needed the repo IDs? Oh, because that's the old one. That's why. All right. Sure. We'll do this for now. Bless me. Meh. We're just going to leave this. We're going to leave these debugs in there. That's fine. All right, so to do add custom fields. So we'll do that, and then we're done with this process. We can close this out. But I probably need, I don't know, I hesitate to say it. It shouldn't take so long, but I think it just is going to. It's going to probably take another hour. I didn't mess with transform, did I? Oh, it's just got a new line in there. All right, we're not going to worry about that. All right, whip, automate creating a test fixture for ETL. That's what we're going to call that for now. I'm going to go push that. So if you enjoyed this, consider giving it a thumbs up, consider sub if you want to. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down and get the heck out of here and share with someone that you don't like. But if you did like it, then share with someone that you do like. And oh, hey, Kirglow. Oh, welcome. In the Discord, by the way, I'm going to drop another link to the Discord. But just so you know, I never click on the little wavy buttons in the Discord. Let's see. Also, hello to... dang it. Just because for some reason it takes an obscene amount of GPU for it to draw the little wavy dudes. So I never click on them. I just do the little hand wave or a thumbs up or something instead. All right. So here's the Discord. If anybody wants to join in on the Discord. Discord. Boop. And I'm peacing out. So thanks for joining in. I hope to see you again later today or tonight. Later tonight or sometime. Hope to see you again. And I don't know what else to say. So I'm just gonna peace out, and thanks for joining in. I appreciated all the comments and the questions, the suggestions. I actually really, really love it when people give me suggestions, except for sometimes I don't because I feel like an idiot, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't give them anyway. Because sometimes I don't see the obvious thing that's right in front of me, and then I feel ashamed because I'm a human and we have that flaw. Of course, not all humans are that way, but I'm a human that's the way. Anyway, like I said, thumbs up if you got them, thumbs down if you don't. Like, sub if you want to. Check out the description for related and unrelated links. In particular, check out the Beyond Code Bootcamp channel on YouTube, which is the channel where I post the stuff that's the more consolidated lesson type material. And I will catch you around. Adios. That did not go the way I wanted. Let's try it again. Adios.